100%.
Like, and that's
no, 100%.
And that's what I feel like has like a lot of
that is like such a phenomenon now, because we're like, this has never happened before. You know what I mean? Like, reality TV has existed for years, but now we have all these platforms where people can. I think like,
that's where. Remember, this is a great point. Remember when you were a kid, or like when you were in school, and like back then you used to be like, I want to be a singer, or I want to be this, and people would be like, bro, you ain't gonna be a singer. Like finish college, like, you know what I mean? And back then it would make sense, but now kids can be like, I want to be a YouTuber, and within a year and a half they could have a million subscribers, and like all this shit could pop off for them and stuff like that, and then it just creates this like disruption to I don't even know what to call it. Like it creates this like weird flux of ability, and then in my mind, the wrong things often get rewarded. Not all the time. Sometimes the right things get rewarded, but then it just creates this like almost like dystopian thing of like what people want to constantly consume versus what they probably should be constantly consuming versus what a good balance of also of course, I'm not going to generalize. There's plenty of people, there's plenty of things out there that, you know, people are really like, people love podcasts, people love documentaries, people love, you know what I mean? So like, it's not like it's just this like mindlessness, you know, galore, but certain things do get rewarded that in my mind, I'm like, you aren't talented like that.
I do think
like I don't like
that
what, you know.
There's a really short-lived bubble of that.
Right.
And so like, even
full discretion, people might say that about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people might say that about me talking and be like, yo, like you're not talented.
For instance, like the Ace family had a pinnacle moment where they were like, oh yeah, the Ace family, blah blah. Even I watched like a video or two at one point or another.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely it starts to die down, because there is still a form of disingenuity whenever you see it. It was hella disingenuous from the very beginning.
But I think that's a difference. It's like the Ace family, people had like there was like a glass that was like shattered. And
100%.
I think that's also the thing, is that although I do think that has happened a lot in the last couple of years, where there's people who, you know, got a platform that probably shouldn't or didn't deserve it. Yeah. I also feel like as quickly as they got it, they started to lose it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's not like the Ace family still has a bunch of subscribers and stuff like that, but they do not have the fame that they had before. Therefore, they're not going to have the longevity that they probably projected to have. And I think that's also the thing where I'm like,
I only know about them because an ex-girlfriend really liked them. Like, she would watch it religiously. And then I was like, well, how did these people, I would ask questions, right? Like, what do they do? Like, are they celebrities? Are they, you know, no, it's just like, you know, they're just vlogging or whatever, this and that. And then I would kind of like ask questions about like the inception of it. And then the crux of it all was, I am captivated by the idea of watching where they started and how they keep getting to these new places. Yeah. And I'm just like, but baby, that's not real. Yeah. At this point, it's not real. Like, it's not actually happened. That's not what I mean. Yeah. I mean, like, after a certain point, when money gets involved and things get incentivized, then you're like, oh, let me go pick up my kid in a Lamborghini, because that's what's going to make this video the video that people are going to watch. Yeah. And then that's what becomes disingenuous, right? In terms of it being art or not, like, whatever, I can give a fuck about that. Like, I'm not in my like museum mode or whatever, but like, you know, like it just becomes this like very like, and to the point you're making earlier, or to the point about reality TV kind of like withstanding the test of time or whatnot, the networks are really smart. There's no network telling the Ace family what to do. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. So when Rob and China get canceled, it's because the network's like, we can't do anything with this. Sorry, you're gonna have to figure something else out. Yeah. Our like angel investment, we can't continue. Yeah. Right? But nobody's telling the Ace family what to do. So then you get to the point where they're now bankrupt. And now they owe like millions and millions and millions of dollars.
They're about to be evicted from their home,
and they won't leave.
It's being foreclosed,
and they won't leave. Why? Because they have to keep making videos. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying?
Shut the fuck up.
And the reality gets destroyed. I mean, you can pull it up if you want.
This is me finding out right now that the Ace family is bankrupt and evicted from their house.
But they won't leave though.
Shut up.
They won't leave. But
You're kidding.
And they won't talk about that on they won't talk about that on their videos. Everything on their videos is if everything's normal.
1 day ago, our official wedding date. You're not married?
You see what I'm saying? It's that kind of bullshit that I'm talking. After he cheated on you so many times, after he, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. Maybe him cheating on you might have been like a good like headline for like, you know, clickbait for like people to watch and people to watch. But look at that. Austin and Catherine McBroom defaulted $8.7 million in debt over summer. Why? Why are you $8.7 million in debt? Because money was coming in out of the YouTube revenue, and you were making probably 30, 40 grand a month, right? And when you're making that kind of money a month, a bank or a loan might say, oh, if you have this, like, let's say they were making 30, 40, 50 grand a month for 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row is enough.
Auctioned.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's say you're making steady bank for 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row is enough time. It's
them saying that
it's plenty of time for a bank to be like, oh, you have steady income coming in. We can vouch for $15 million of a loan. As long as you can assure me that you're going to keep making 50 grand a month. But how do you know your viewership's going to die down? So when it died down, now they owe money.
Yep.
And a network would have never let that happen. That a lot of that just goes to the point that I'm making. I don't really want to criticize them. I don't know their financials. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not trying to down anybody. Whoever likes the Ace family, cool. Good for you. Like, whoever likes the Kardashians,
no, I'm
cool.
sorry.
Good
I'm
for
judgy.
you. Like,
if you like the Ace family, you gotta go to therapy. You gotta figure that shit out.
Whatever it is.
You have got to figure that shit out.
Whatever it is. The point that I'm making is that there's a clear connection between like reality TV putting this image and then people idolizing it.
Yeah.
And aspiring to do that through their own means. You know what I mean? And it's just not sustainable because you can't, because
not always,
nobody's life is that interesting. I promise you, nobody.
This article is crazy. Number one, can I we don't have to put this in.
What's the article? We'll put it up.
I just looked up Ace family bankruptcies. I went to news and it's the Daily Mail. It says Ace family
claims they lost.
Yes.
Nar, they really
said
Nar.
No, but wait. It says like go down. It says that they basically, I transferred the funds to finish the house and they dissolved the company within weeks. They took the money and ran and they never came back. For more than 2 years, the McBrooms were paying $70,000 per month mortgage for an unfinished home that didn't even have gas. When you don't have gas and you don't have heat, the winters are getting colder now due to you live in California. The winters are not getting colder. They're getting warmer. That's what global warming is. Like
not necessarily.
Well, I know not necessarily. In Texas, they have been for sure.
California's fine.
Yeah,
California winters, you're fucking fine.
Y'all are fine.
You're in Calabasas, probably. I don't know where the fuck they are. They're in Calabasas.
Ultimately, they were told they couldn't get a certificate of occupancy required for living in a house, but because the home couldn't pass inspection.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
The embarrassment, right? Of like, and they're constantly making videos about how they fucking stun on everybody.
At the time we were asking him if it would be possible to build just one house on the property because we really liked it. Beautiful. We saw that he had done with both of the houses. They were very modern, really ourselves. So we asked him if we could combine the property kind of as a joke. But he ended up coming back a week later and saying, oh yeah, I actually can do it. I was kind of desperate just to find. There's just no way that you get scammed out of $10 million.
So you're telling me them 3 kids are living because they have been living in those homes based off of the videos that they're showing
for years now.
And you're telling me that
it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
I know you didn't have gas for like years and you were okay.
You're telling me
living with your kids in there.
They're on your ass. It's like coming from people who are raised by like a contractor. I saw the ins and outs of like how they build homes and the fact that like you literally cannot live anywhere if there hasn't been a past inspection.
No,
like you can't.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't surprise me if they go film and then go to wherever the fuck they're actually staying afterwards, right? And that just goes to the point. Anyway,
But also, wouldn't they be arrested? Like, if they were already evicted, that's like trespassing, right?
I don't know. Well, eventually, if a video comes out of it, we'll figure it out. And that's the point that I'm making, is that how much things do you have to manufacture in order for things for people to keep being like, oh, let me just keep doing this. That's not to say, that's not me making a presupposition that every reality TV show is based off of that kind of like sensationalism. But I get skeptical. The moment it says reality TV, I'm like, oh man, like I don't know how much. If the reality is in your name, I don't know how much I can trust you. You know what I mean?
I don't think reality is any name of a reality.
You know what I mean?
Show.
Or like in your description, like I'm just like
I don't know. Because look, I at first was very hesitant about watching the Kardashians. I've never been a reality TV person ever in my life. Never really like drew my attention. But I could see like the appeal to it because of like my fascination with the Kardashians. Like I don't follow them religiously either, or really take up on what they sell and stuff like that. But I do think that there is a like genuine side to when they're making certain things, because even if you're told to act a specific way, like you're I don't know, like you're still acting that particular way, and it's grabbing people's attention.
I had to concede with the Kardashians.
Like if I am like in a reality TV show, also like people like the Kardashians, for example, which like they know what they're doing. Like they have 20 seasons under the belt. They know, like people can tell.
I think Chris is the mastermind.
People, I think they all like they all have the team. You know what I mean? Like they all have the team. But I mean, anyway. Like, you know when shit is fake. Like, people know that the Ace family is fake. You know what I mean? People still watch it, and that's fine, but people know that shit is fake. When you have the Kardashians, like, they know that they have way too fucking much to lose to make some, like, acted out, like, staged, sketched out shit. You know what I mean?
See, and my skepticism is they have way too much to lose, so it has to be acted out.
No, because because here's why, like their show, like when you think of shit like what happened with Tristan, like lately.
I don't know what happened with Tristan.
Whenever he cheated on Chloe like 3 fucking times, it's like that show is giving you the insight to see how the fuck the family like, and people are dying. Like whenever the whole like Tristan and Jordan thing came out, everybody was waiting for those fucking episodes because everybody was like, what were they doing? And like one of the interviews, it's literally like Kim being like, holy shit. And they have all these fucking, because they're shooting like 24 fucking hours a day or however long. So they have the reaction of the entire family finding out.
Oh, like that, when it was like coming out.
Tristan, or like when the first time when she was literally like 9 months pregnant and she was like a week from giving birth. They have the reaction of the entire family finding out that Tristan Thompson just got like some video got fucking released. And like, you know what I mean? Like that's the shit that you're like.
But again, I'm super skeptical. I'm like, yo, look at his bank account, see if his net worth increased. Because I wouldn't surprise me if he signed an NDA. Because if there's no other opposite show describing what happened, what's going on between him and Chloe's relationship, and you're only seeing their side of it, then I'm not. And he's famous.
But what
he's
other
famous?
Show?
Is he famous?
He's an NBA player.
Okay, he's got money enough to show his side. Of what happened. He's got enough money to be like,
show what side? It was released by the fucking club. There's no other side. His girlfriend was just 9 months pregnant.
To show like, okay, this is what's been going on. What if there was some stuff happening in my relationship? What if I'm not happy with?
They were like, posting to get. She was 9 months pregnant.
Well, I do think I
get skeptical of all of it.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, but that's like a level of skepticism that it's like, what do you mean? Like they were together. Everybody knew. Like they are both public figures. Everybody knew that. That's why it was news. That's why TMZ broke that shit. You know what I mean? Like it was like, be skeptical about them like showing their genuine reactions. But you know what I'm saying? Like
filtering the way they react in order to not be seen in a specific light.
It also wouldn't surprise. Like,
but
what I'm saying is that nothing would surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they all knew that shit was going on and they waited until she was 9 months pregnant to reveal it on the show.
Like, don't you think that's the kind of shit that I'm talking twisted about?
Though? Yes. 100%.
But
what people do for money is twisted as fuck. You were just saying that people will go online and battle with 19 other girls for love. That's twisted also. And if people can do that, then people can do a lot for 20 million.
I don't think that's. I think that's weird as fuck. But I don't think that's twisted.
I think that's twisted.
I don't think that's crazy.
I do think that the Kardashians do fall in that a little bit because I mean, like who starts a reality TV show after letting a sex tape out? Like that's a little.
I don't put a lack of morality on those people
because
whatsoever.
if you like if a sex tape of you leaked, my first instinct is not going to be, let me start making a reality show so that people can like follow my life around.
There was like time in between, I think. It wasn't like right away. I think because like, they were already famous too.
But like the reason why she's known was just because of that.
Who was famous?
Ray J.
No, the Kardashians weren't like parents, but she was already like friends with, she was already in the circle.
Okay.
Ray J was like, how else would she get with rich? You know what I mean?
They were rich, but I believe that the reason why like E decided to take her on was like, hey yo, like she's got clout because of this like sex tape that released or whatever, and she never said anything about it. Let's see if maybe this develops into something. And there was a group of people that were like, hey, that's the girl that was on that sex tape.
I think that's definitely what helped them, you know for sure, like 100%. But also, I feel like that is such a like it's such a like kind of 50-50 because also they never really talked about the tape on the show. Like that was never something that was the point.
Yeah. They didn't have to.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. I feel like the thing with the Kardashians and like the show, I get obviously.
I'm not mad at them, by the way. I'm not like hating on them for doing that. Like, hey, get your bag however you want to get your bag. Just as long as you're pretty upfront about how you get your bag. Moral ambiguity, whatever. Like it's cool with me. I'm just saying like that's why I get so skeptical in terms of like the integrity of it or the how genuine.
Here's why I like the only reason why I disagree is because I feel like the times when people are that level of like disingenuous, I don't mean calculated or like meticulous. I mean like literally like fake and disingenuous.
Sure.
They don't work out. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm like, I get what you're saying.
Or could they just be that good?
Or maybe.
I think so good that you can't replicate it.
I'm skeptical
like,
to
what
that.
What if they're the Michael Jordan of fakeness?
But
you can't replicate Michael Jordan. Even LeBron can't. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think, well, if we're talking about, I'm talking about reality TV in general, not specifically the Kardashians. Like, we could probably make that argument, but I mean in general, then I would have to argue like all these people are that fucking good. Like, come on. Not all these people are that fucking good. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but they have like the perfect amount of everything. Like they have the perfect amount of like general attractiveness.
I think they know like their strategy. I think they know like they know what they're fucking doing 100 fucking %. I don't think anything is by chance.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they know like the production of these shows is just honestly like I would like give my left tit to work on those because they're so insane and so like perfectly crafted.
It would be great.
But if there wasn't truth to that, it wouldn't. People know. Like, I think we like dumb down audiences way too fucking much, and we just don't give them the credit. Like, people know when some shit is fucking fake. Mm-hmm. Nobody watches The Bachelor because they think it's gonna work out. They watch it because it's entertaining.
Right.
You can root for some of the couples, and you like, yeah, people when you're watching it, you're like, oh my god. But if they just got together, they would fucking work out. You bitches just need to fucking wake up and do what you gotta do. Right. But no, you're gonna go with this dumbass because that's what's gonna be better for TV. Everybody gets that.
Yeah.
I think people don't give audiences the credit of like, people are not that fucking dumb. You know what I mean? If there's a level to which people are like, I'm not convinced by this, people are not gonna fucking watch it. You know what I mean? Like,
I would argue that maybe, there's that's definitely a truth to that, but I would also argue is like there's a fantastic element of it. There's like a romanticized element of like 100%. Can I see myself in that life? So even if they actually don't believe it, they want to, and that's enough. You know what I mean? Like they want to believe it, and that's enough of a feeling for them to be like, no, I'm gonna keep watching it.
To want to believe, but that's I'm not saying that because they think it's just like. Again, The Bachelor is like the perfect fucking example. Nobody fucking believes in that shit. Nobody's watching that being like, yeah, they're gonna walk away and they're gonna live happily ever after. Like, nobody believes that. If anything, most people are like, which one of these are going to go to Bachelor in Paradise, which is like a spinoff or whatever, because that one works better. Because again,
there's always a spinoff.
There's always a spinoff. Look, and that one is better because again, it's just a bunch of people dating on an island.
This is what I'm saying.
I think they're super entertaining. I don't care how fake it is.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's watching that being like, wow, like, oh my God. Like, it's so fun. And like, yeah, when we watch it and you like, there's these moments
that I'm not gonna deny. That I'm not gonna deny. Like, if people enjoy it and people have fun watching it, I can't like knock on that.
And like, at the end of the day, like, these people are real people. You know what I mean? Like, there's like real moments within the show, and that's also where you're like, oh, like, you get to really like some people on the show, and you get to really hate some people on the show. Like, some people are villains even if they were not set out to be the villain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or they might be like on America's Got Talent and be like, we need you to be this person.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, we'll do it.
And like, again, like, you can tell, like, I feel like I'm only like talking about The Bachelor in this sense because I feel like it's like the perfect example of that. Like, you can fucking tell when they're trying to make somebody the villain, and you can fucking tell when somebody is like, I'm gonna make myself the villain because that's gonna give me the fucking airtime. It's like, you can tell, and you're still gonna watch it, or you're gonna choose not to. Like, now we don't fucking watch it because I'm like, this is too, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing every season. Like, I can't change the fucking script if it's gonna be that.
I feel like they wait for their like. There's like pockets of people that are like, oh, now I'm interested in it. Like, I've never been one to watch them, but I'm sure I know for a fact.
No, but there's people that watch.
I'm sure there's
people
like
that watch it religiously. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, but I do feel like they make a lot of money from the people that are like that you were at one point, that you were like, you would watch like 1 or 2 seasons and then you'd be like, oh, never mind. It's like, I don't want to watch it anymore. But like, for instance, myself, I haven't been one of those people quite yet. If I do end up liking it, I know I will watch maybe a good 1 or 2 seasons of it and give them that money that they need during that time, and then they'll catch the other group of people later on that's interested in it randomly.
It's probably a good formula.
Like a interesting thing.
It's probably a good formula.
Plus, honestly, like a girls' night, drinking wine,
that's
eating pizza, bro. Watching people make a fool of themselves on TV is fucking
Bachelor
hilarious.
night, Brenda and I would get like
that sounds like fun.
Or like Vietnamese food. We would get our little like bowls, and we would sit there with our wine, and we would watch 2 hours of this absolute fucking bullshit, and it was the best time of my life.
Yeah.